Hi guys, and welcome to my review of the EPZ 530. And this is one of those reviews then that when you least expect it, out of nowhere comes an IEM that I'm not going to say rewrites, but kind of makes you wonder if a brand that although good quality and it's got some interesting products, is capable of doing a product of this level. Why do we still in 2023 have brands that do not know how to make a simple IEM properly? Why? The EPZ 530 is for lack of a better word, or for lack of me not wanting to sound like I'm shilling the 530, or it is an absolutely beastly IEM in every aspect. Starting with the box, I mean, okay, we already know the box we throw away and this and that, but no, this is a real wooden box. People, if this can be sold for around $440 to $460 depending on where you get it, and offer this kind of presentation, then again I ask, how is it possible that brands charging sometimes thousands of dollars have the goal to actually give us the products in I mean, I just recently reviewed the Studio 4 from Soft Tears. Okay, there's nothing wrong. They've spent their money in the IEM, but it's $429 to $449. It's the same price as the EPZ. And you greet it with the box of the Soft Tears, and you say, okay, all right. And you greet it with this box, and you say to yourself, are you sure there's no mistake in the price? Anyway, let me just quickly take you through this, or not quickly. Take as long as I need to really. Anyway, the sleeve that's on it is very tight, so I apologize. In the back, there's some specs you can't really read too much, but it says, and it's got the frequency response and the sensitivity. It's 32 ohm impedance. 110 dB sensitivity gives then some characteristics of the actual product on the right hand side. What are the BAs being used? Excuse me. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I apologize. They can just barely make it there. It's got 38 AM for the low frequency, 2389 for the mids, and E50 DT for the highs. So Sonion, really good selection of BA units, and now the box itself. Okay, so the box, lift out the lid. Sorry, the IEMs came over there. This lifts away. Okay, and then underneath here we have some paperwork and so on. The rest of the box is nice and empty, so you can then use it for whatever you feel like using it. And then over here as well, where is it? No, yeah, that's it. On the actual case, let me just put this away. On the actual case, we then get the cable, which I'll show you. It's a modular cable, really nice quality, by the way. I've measured the cable and it confirms perfectly. Brings all three terminations, 3.5 single-ended, 2.5 and 4.4 balanced. Tips as well. Actually, I believe they are inside there. I forgot to show you. Yes, exactly. In that box that I was mentioning, you get the cleaning tool. Okay, the tips actually came inside there, and then we've got an adapter as well, plus a little extra carrying pouch for well, something, I guess. And that's that. I mean, so presentation wise, it's, for me, top marks. It brings good cable, top marks. A lesson for some brands which sometimes, I don't understand. They give us amazing IEMs and then we still have to go spend, I don't know how much extra on buying a cable. It brings the tips, which are these green ones from EPZ, which I'm using them because they work perfectly. Okay, carrying case as well is nice. So overall, what we get in terms of presentation is perfect. IEM, it's a resin stabilized wood affair. There's two colors. I opted for this jade green, and it is beautiful. Honestly, seeing it live is completely different than seeing it on a video or a picture. So it doesn't do it justice. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a three-way crossover, 3 ducts as well for the 3 different pairs of or sets of BAs. Okay, fits flawlessly. They're not heavy. Honestly, whoever designed this for EPZ knows what he's doing. He's not a novice. He's not building IEMs or making IEMs just for a couple of weeks. He knows what he's doing. So whoever is making this knows how to properly design an IEM, build it to a high level, to a high standard. It fits beautifully, like I said, and then the hardware and the way that it's been tuned, again, nothing short of absolutely amazing. Seriously, that's how good it is. So let me put this over here. Okay, so let's talk about the sound, because that's what we want to know, right? When I listened to the EPZ the first time, I automatically was reminded of the Neon Pro, automatically. And that means that it has a style of tuning which is very similar to the Neon Pro, which is what? It's a QDC style tuning with a relatively early rise of the pinna gain, and then a nice plateau across that whole area there of, let's say, 2 to 8, 9K. It's a nice plateau, some extension past 10K as well, and a good healthy dose of bass. It's BA bass, so by being BA bass, we know it's going to be quick, it's fast, but somehow they've managed to make it so that it's got a nice thickness to it. So although it's just one unit, it's got plenty of weight without losing any of the quickness of the speed, the texture that usually is associated obviously with BA bass. Yes, ultimately in certain songs you do notice that it doesn't have that same not timbre, but that same impact that you would like from Dust to Dawn from George Duke, which is the song that I usually use for that. If you listen to this and you listen to a really good DD, yes, you will obviously pick up on the difference. Now, having said that, much like on the Neon Pro, much like on the Leisurely Audio L8S, when you listen to that particular song on this IEM, you are really impressed, because it has a very good sense of visceral impact, which usually BAs are not capable of doing. Mids, flawless. I mean, there's absolutely nothing I can falter in the mids. This is what I like in terms of mids. Okay, the mids of the Neon Pro are the same thing. The mids of the Leisurely Audio, the same thing. Any one of these 3 IEMs has absolutely amazing mids. Let me break that down a little bit more. All of them are high energy, so they've got loads of energy in the mids, but it's all so well balanced, all so well put together that nothing is forward, nothing shouts, nothing is out of context. Everything is very well matched with what you have in terms of bass and in highs. And the whole overall sound, it's like a wall of really high quality sound that you get from any one of these three IEMs. Yes, there are differences. If I have to say which is the one which is the less polished, the Leisurely Audio, but very minimal. Mind you, when I reviewed the Leisurely Audio a couple of weeks ago, and I said that it was a hidden gem, I mean that. This IM, for the $360 or $370 that it costs, this is truly a hidden gem. This is, make no mistake, amazing, amazing. Where, as I just said, where you notice that it is not as polished as these two, is just in that upper mid to treble. It's just not as, there's just a little less class, just a little bit less, how can I put the word? It's class. I think that's the best word. Seriously, it's just very minimal. All right, and you will notice it more obviously on specific on specific genres of music. If you listen to like Cecile Norby in a sentimental mood, you can pick up on it because the whole song is her voice. If you are listening to, for example, let me see here, Sunset in the Blue from Melody Gardot, again the same thing. It's this style of music that you will see the biggest difference between the three of them. And having said what I've just said about the L8, that's where the 530 like really shows its true colors. The way that it does, I mean, and please, sometimes it's very hard for me to say certain things because people think that I don't know. Much like I was impressed with the Duno SA6, and I said that the Duno SA6 Mark II is on the level of the Neon Pro, and that I also said that this is on the level of the Neon Pro. This is on the level of the Neon Pro, and it's actually better than the Neon Pro when it comes to this style of female vocals. The atmosphere that it creates, it's and trust me when I tell you, I've spent a good 2 weeks back and forth between listening to this and to other IMs, back and forth and listening and saying to myself, okay, make sure that when you do open your mouth and say something about it, it's solid, it's not, absolutely faultless. A song that I also like listening to quite often is Analog from Soul Persona. I mean, all three do it flawlessly. The EPZ, it just edges out the other two, just edges it out. And when you take into account that's just 5 BAs, that's 8, and that's 10, that deserves merit. That deserves merit. That they were able to do with 5 BAs what the others are doing or have twice the hardware to do it with. Obviously, like House of Groove from Eugene Groove, that's where you see the Neon Pro just edging out slightly. But it's, again, slight. There's not huge day and night differences between these IMs. There isn't. Let me see another song here from in terms of female vocals that showcase as well the 530. Let me see Joanna Sevdaliz, again another song that the 530 does so well. This guitar that you hear, everything sounds so true, so natural, so organic, flawless. Trust me. Blackbird from Lady Blackbird, again another song where the 530 and the Neon Pro stand out compared to the L8S. Let me see here. Lonely from Hamlet Brown, again amazing. I mean, honestly. Mexican Margarita from Jacob Gorovich, which is a song that I like listening to because of the guitars and everything. The guitars here sound surreal, much like on the Neon Pro. The L8 sounds good, but just sounds less polished. That the L8S, I think the L8S in a future revision, they just need to really touch up on very minor things. And they touch up on those minor things, and you will have an IEM here that is very, but very dangerous. Okay, let me just leave it at that. Willow Weep for Me from Jacinta, again, yet another female vocal that the 530 does well. And what I'm basically saying is, if you enjoy vocals, definitely the 530, without question. If you enjoy female vocals, then very much show the 530. However, male vocals are also done impeccably. What you're going to do from Frank McComb, amazing. Now, does that mean that the 530 is just tailored for jazz or for just those more, relaxed genres? No, 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 no. You listen to, for example, We Are One from Black Coffee, which is a South African. This is South African house music. Very strong. I mean, it's a powerful EDM song. There's no lack of energy there. Trust me. Yes, the Neon Pro does have just a little bit extra. It does. I'm not going to deny. But that little bit extra that it has is not, a huge difference. Especially when you consider, again, like I said, just 5 BAs. Something to be given its due merit. Loud Silence from Duke Soul, again another EDM style music song rather, with a touch of like a little bit of jazz into it. Very well executed in any one of the three. It's got this hi-hat and this cymbal going on it. Here less polished, here very well done, here just a little bit cleaner than on the Neon Pro, and you'll understand what I mean in a few minutes when I show you the graph. Okay. Let me see here what else that I listened to that kind of really. Baby I Love Your Way. It's a cover by City. Amazing. In any one of the three, it's perfectly executed in my opinion. The two standouts are the 530 and the Neon Pro, without question. Let me see another final one here. Oh yes, Rock You Gently from Jennifer Warnes. I was forgetting that one. If you're familiar with this song, it's got a nice kind of bass line going to it, going with a lot of little percussion work going along with it. Nice. You have to listen to it. I'll link it as I usually do. Very nice, very nice. And then when her voice comes in, perfectly executed. I mean, yeah, that's basically it. I mean, guys, sonically, there's absolutely nothing that I can say against the 530. Nothing, because it is truly, truly a special IM, and it very much deserving of joining that group of IEMs that I consider to be my references. The Neon Pro, the Soundrhyme SR8, the Duno SA6 Mark II. And the thing with the 530 and with the Leisurely Audio L8 is they've been able to give that level of performance of those much more expensive sets at the under $500 bracket. The one that comes closest to this is the Duno SA6, which is just over $500. But I mean, the Neon Pro is $800. The Soundrhyme is about the same thing, and you already know that the Neon Pro, I've compared it with the Anoli VX, and it kind of traded blows with the Anoli VX. So that says a lot. It says a lot, not only for the Neon Pro, but the fact that this is then able to trade blows with the Neon Pro, it says again that this is a serious IEM, and that should at least be considered for an audition, if nothing else. Right? Technically, how do I see the 530? Wide sound stage, good height, needs a little bit more depth. Okay, very good imaging, no issues with locations, and it puts everything in its place very nicely without any difficulty, even in more complex tracks. Really good detail retrieval. Detail retrieval is probably one of the better features that it has. Better than the Neon Pro, better than the Leisurely Audio. And then timbre and tonality, which is something which I always look for. Again, considering this is a BA set, very, very good. Very much like the timbre and the tonality of the SA6 Mark II was the feature that really stood out for me. This again, the same thing. With the detailed retrieval, I think those two are the two strongest features that the 530 have. Better timbre and tonality, more correct timbre and tonality than the L8S. Okay, more organic, more true to life, and as well, in my opinion, more correct than the Neon Pro. A lot of the times. Okay. Um, what else? What more can I say? That's basically it. I mean, it's like I said in the beginning of the review. It was an IM that I wasn't expecting to be this good. EPZ has got some interesting products, but the difference between this and the rest of the range is monumental. Okay, let's just make that perfectly clear. The difference between the 530 and the rest of the range from EPZ is monumental. And the fact that they were actually able to launch an IM like this, for me, says a lot for them, okay? And also says a lot for, the smaller brands being capable of doing good things. It's not only a boutique brand like our audio that is capable of making really high quality IEMs that play very well. No, a more mainstream brand, small brand can do the same thing if they really put their mind to it. And we've seen that now recently with KZ and the AS24. Fantastic IEM. Really nothing that you can falter at it. Let's be really honest and truthful about it. There is not much that you can falter on the AS24 when you're taking into consideration the price. And that's it, guys. I'll show you now the graphs, like I said, and we'll wrap it up. And any questions you guys might want to have or something, just ask me afterwards. All right, take care. Hi guys, and welcome now to the graph section for the EPZ 530. Let me just take away these graphs here. Okay, that's the graph for the 530. So as you can see, everything stays within a window of 10 dBs. Couple of related peak there. Really good extension past 10K, really good and very much noticeable. Relatively smooth pin again, peaks at about 2.5, and then from 2 to 9 it basically is flat. It's really nothing to be said there. The bass is nice and full. This mid bass that you see here, which apparently seems like it's bleeding into the mids, yes, there is a little bit of a bleed into the mids, but how can I well, first of all, talking BA, so it's always going to be different, but for you guys to put it into context of what that's like, let me just show you, for example, the Neon Pro with the bass switch on. It's everything's been normalized at 500 hertz. So you can see that, okay, if you want to talk bleed, well, then there's bleed as well in the Neon Pro. And when you actually listen to it, no, there isn't. Obviously, the Neon Pro does have an advantage, which is the fact that you can lower the bass. And when you do lower the bass, then yes, it cleans up that whole area there, and it opens up the mids completely. So that there is a reality. If you listen to the Neon Pro bass switch off and you compare it to the EPZ, yes, there are going to be differences in terms of the cleanliness that is provided by that lower mid bass energy. That cleanliness in the mids is very noticeable. But if it fits with the bass switch on, they are going to be almost identical. Okay. Again, just a quick reminder, the fact that it's only 5 BAs versus 10, I think it's worth merit. It's got more extension past 10K, as you can see. But the mids, and everything is very, very close, okay? This is the EPZ in black. This is the EPZ, the leisurely audio. Let me just take away the neon. And again, the leisurely audio is almost identical. It's also got the same sort of bass response, same sort of pin again, just a little bit less there in that 2 to 3K area, but then it kind of maintained itself, and then yes, less extension, less upper treble presence, and extension past 10K, but not such a huge difference. It's very much, let me just quickly put it with the Neon Pro, if you guys remember, it's very much trading blows again with the Neon Pro. So there you have it. You've got 3 IEMs which have a very similar frequency response and ultimately a very similar sound. The two that are the best ones obviously are the 530 and the Neon Pro. The 530, due to its price, is, in my opinion, a no-brainer really. And the leisurely audio, it's even cheaper and even more so of a no-brainer. I mean, you can actually buy the leisurely audio and the EPZ for basically the same price as the Neon Pro, if you want to put things into that context. Now, does that mean that the Neon Pro is not worth it? No, of course not. The Neon Pro is an amazing IM, period, end of story. But it's not alone in its uniqueness, it's not alone in its amazingness. I mean, after all, it did get some inspiration, I'm guessing, in the QDC, in the Noli VX. So the same way it maybe got its inspiration there, these maybe also got their inspiration here on the Neon Pro. Although from what I know, the 530 has been around for quite some time now. It's just never really gotten any attention. Anyway, guys, that's basically it. Any questions you might have, please feel free to ask. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. You take care now. Bye bye.